Hey, yo, it's YK, AKA Lil Bushwick, and my boy RealToonTV, man. Tap in.
Hey, Real Tone, it's some real money in the room.
Willie D and Scarface come together, formulate this podcast called The Geto Boys Reloaded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did you ever see like The Geto Boys Reloaded?
I watched like, I watched certain clips, but I'm not gonna act like I really just engage in it. I like watching stuff with like 19 Keys, High Level Conversations, and like Wallow and Gilly and them, and like I like those type of podcasts.
Right. Well, there was a particular episode where comments were made and it was perceived that they was said like, it was said that, let's be clear, the Geto Boys has always been Scarface and Willie D.
No comment. Because if you look on paper and you look at these pictures, I don't think it was two people standing on those photos. I saw a person right there that looked just like me on all those photos and album covers. And all those tours, shows, and dates, that same person was running around on them stages, helping and ad-libbing songs and rapping lyrics. I don't think it was an invisible person. So it speaks for itself.
It's tough, bro. It's tough because I watched the show, and as a fan, I saw Scarface apparently left Willie D behind in Houston while he went to the Grammys to perform My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Dun, 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 dun,
But people gotta remember though, Mind Playing Tricks on Me was originally Scarface's song. That was originally his song. Jay heard the song and decided to be like, okay, I want Bill and Willie on this song. Face had 3 verses on that song. It was his all the way. So it's like...
So Bushwick's verse was written by...
Yeah, Face. He wrote it. Face wrote that verse. Yeah. Because it really, you gotta think it originally was his song. I got 3 whole verses. I'm about to waste a verse.
He wrote Willie D's as well?
No. Willie wrote his own verse.
Okay.
But you gotta think my pops was just becoming a rapper.
Right, he was a hype man. He wasn't a rapper.
Exactly. He was never wanted to be a rapper. Never like how people like, I want to rap one day. Like he never wanted to rap or had any wanting to do that. And that'd be the people who pop because it's like they're not putting so much energy into something. It's like whatever they be, they gonna be.
Right. Well, it was originally Face's song, and that gives him, in your opinion, the right to go and perform on one of the world's biggest stages for music.
Nah, I can't say that because it's not his platform. You gotta think, if that was Scarface's platform, of course he can invite and do this and that. But it's the like you said, the world's biggest platform, the Grammys. So if the Grammys don't invite you, you're not going on the stages with the Grammys. That's one of those events. And they only had a short amount of time to basically shed light on hip hop in the 58 years in that quick seconds while doing songs back to back. Because when you watch the clip, it's him, then it's another person, then another person, another person. They all going for a certain amount of time.
So it wasn't really like a situation where
he had a whole set and it was like Scarface got 4, 5 songs. He's rapping, got a guitarist in the band. No, it was just literally a blink of time of him having a segment of, hey, when I'm playing Tricks, he played a big part in the 50th year anniversary of hip hop. When we celebrate 50 years of hip hop, this is hip hop. So, like I say, that comes along again while I revert back to that topic. Like, when you constantly seek and want attention and be greedy, you always trying to bite more than you can chew.
Right.
You already that. You a legend. You done all these great things and accomplishments. The world see you as a legend.
Right.
Why need more? You good. You set. 30-some years. You straight.
I'm not sure if you saw, but Willie D kind of went off on Scarface and called him fake for making that move by himself.
That's like not adding me to the shows. If you do a Houston show and then Scarface and Willie D and they don't throw me on stage and rap my dad verse and they rap my dad verse, that's disrespectful. When I'm accessible to both of them and it's y'all show and it's a Geto Boys show and I'm here in Houston alive and healthy and well and I don't get on stage, that'd be wrong. But every time Face on stage though, he put me on stage though, so it's never been that problem. Like every time he has a show, I've been on that stage like 7 out of 9 times if I was around. So it's never been that. So it's like that's how you could base a situation like. It's 2 of those narratives. One was a particular show, one was literally a scheduled event, programmed.
Well, I bring that up to say, it's to my understanding that the Geto Boys have broken up.
Oh yeah, they've been over. Once my pops passed, they already been over, but when he was alive, you could look up videos on YouTube with my dad literally saying, well, Listen that he's saying how he's leaving the group. And then his face saying I never doing the Geto Boys album. Bro, if all these key members, and my dad was here from the beginning, and he's over it, of all the stuff he went through, Face over it, he's like, he been through too much, and Will the only one to want to be like, he'll do it, mention stuff, because it's like, end of the day, the brand is so big. But it's like, he'll probably be down or not be down, but if everybody not down, he not down. Face not trying to do it, Will's not going to do it, bro. So if my dad not down, Face not down, Will not down, bro, it's not going to be no Geto Boys, nothing. Because these three members are not on the same page.
Well, what I'm referring to is the Geto Boys Reloaded, the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they broke up twice though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you're saying
first
how like
there's this breakup of the Geto Boys, but then it's like we reloaded, we back, we here, and you know I feel like Willie D these days he comes with some knowledge. He's like on his pro-black tip.
Yeah.
You know, Scarface, he's into politics.
It's a balance.
They're older now and they on some different type time.
Yeah.
And so after the Grammy situation, Willie speaks his mind, and next thing you know, Scarface isn't on the show anymore. You know what I'm saying? For you, is it like one of them things like we should have saw that coming, or is it like?
I don't know. I can't speak on it because I didn't really give it much energy or seen that. So like, I can't speak on what I don't know.
For sure. I know. For me, it just
because
like,
you know from the standpoint of actually re-knowing and watching and actually being in tune with it, you like you notice these certain things, but I can't speak on what I don't know though.
Right. For sure. That's real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to know like what you got going on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Really like I say, the pop-ups, and I have 6 EPs already done. I got features with my bro Vucci P, TSF. I got songs with my dad that's in the vault. I've been getting more songs sent to me by certain people of my dad. It's this artist named, actually not an artist, a DJ named DJ Lethal. He's the DJ for Limp Bizkit. Well, that's like a very big group. And like he sent me a mix of songs he did with my dad. He sent me this one track. He was like, we got like 2 more. And like, it's like a crazy beat, crazy vibe. And so I'm gonna put that on a project with me and my dad called The Seed of Chuckwick. And I'm dropping it under Lil Bushwick.
That's hard.
Yeah, me and my dad came up with that concept. It's like Seed of Chuckwick.
That's hard.
It's like
that's hard.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Come on, man.
That's hard.
Like
that's
fresh.
That's fresh.
Like
right there.
stupid, man.
Seed of Chuckwick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. When can we expect that? When can
Halloween
we expect
time, really, when the singles start dropping out, because we doing some crazy stuff around Halloween. I'm doing pop-ups, but that's really my time frame and really like my vibe that this project gonna get. I'm not gonna give y'all these certain horrorcore styles and certain styles of rap that my dad helped build genres on without giving y'all substance and videos behind it. So if I say in Russia, say a month from now, I gotta live up to that standard of saying, yeah, I'm gonna give y'all all this in a month. Nah, I'm taking time with it, really want perfection to come to my legacy and really get people who I am, my concept and visuals to its purest perfection.
Okay, today here on RealToonTV, we have the son of hip-hop icon, Houston legend, a platinum recording artist, the little with the big swinging.
Got hoes singing the blues.
Geto Boys in the still banging. Hold on, now for real though, real talk though. You know what I'm saying? Lil Bushwick, AKA Young No, man, what's going on?
Man, everything above. I'm above dirt. I'm in motion.
For sure, man. Before we even get started, bro, what's new?
Man, really these projects, like, and my pop-up I have coming up for my dad's anniversary. His anniversary is on June 9th. That's in like a week. So I'm doing a pop-up at Faded Decade. Got some special guests, got Exotic Pop sponsoring, Slapwood sponsoring. So I'm really just like harnessing everything with my legacy when it comes towards June. That's really what I focus on, really pay homage to my dad.
No, for sure, man. If people want to pull up, like, how can they get more information?
That's it. Basically, when a flyer post this weekend, and I'm doing promo drops in the different locations. And so basically where it be, you'll see the location when I post it on my pages. For sure.
Man, you know, we got a legendary interview in, bro.
Facts.
Legendary interview in. I don't even think I can recreate that type of energy, you know what I'm saying?
That's why we're going to keep it fun.
That's why we're going to keep it fun.
But we got it though.
So let's take it from the top.
Yeah.
How was it growing up? Well, actually, Where you from?
I'm from Missouri City, Mo City, south side of Houston.
You from Houston?
Ridgemont Fall.
Okay. How was it growing up in Ridgemont Fall as a Lil Bushwick?
It really was no different than the other person that was on the hood with me, because like when I came around Richmond, I was probably like 6, 7 years old, and I originally was over there living on the southwest side, like A-Leaf, going to Alexander Elementary School, so that side. So when I came to Mo City, I'm already in 2nd grade, so it's like I'm living with my moms and stuff. We moving around Mo City and stuff. We cozy in the crib and stuff, and just like I'm just going through the everyday childhood structures of being in the hood in America, and it's like the cool cup ladies, all that. Candy ladies, however people call it, and it's like that's what we seen and what we did, and everything that was normal for what you feel like you knew was a normal hood thing.
Well, at this point, though, your father is Bushwick Bill, and when I say that, though, when I say that, I mean like he's established as an artist.
Facts.
As a
yeah, he's him. Like at that point in time, I'm young. He's really even more so thriving his career. Probably around that time, the Geto Boys albums, like Resurrect, the last album they dropped, they didn't even drop by in the foundation or whatever.
Yeah.
So like he's still going, and
he's at the climax, really, the
of
peak
his career. Yeah.
And
that's
you
crazy.
Still in the hood.
Yeah. So that's like contradiction within itself, but it's like that's what made me a Geto Boy. I had to really experience that to be what my legacy stands on. Imagine me saying I'm a Geto Boy and my dad's the only person that's from a third world country and went through certain things. I'm over here standing up business about something that I don't relate to. It's like, it's funny how life is have irony of that. It puts you through certain situations to prepare you for what you really meant to have the footsteps to be in.
Right. So, let's just like talk about how that came about. So, you're living with your mom, right? You have any siblings?
Yeah. I got 3 sisters on my dad's side. And one of my sisters, she's the same age as me. And I have another sister that's like 20 and another sister that's younger.
And so, okay, but not on your mom's side?
Not on my mom's side. My mom's side, I got siblings on that side as well.
Okay. Were you close with your siblings on your dad's side?
Not really. Nah. I was close to my siblings. I grew up with my mom. Like, we see each other every day. I'm living with them. We growing up, having whole childhoods. I'm helping them, you know what I'm saying, teach them how to hold bottles and stuff, like little, like really big brother stuff when they come to my mom's. Like, my siblings with her.
Right. So, at what point do you meet your dad?
Really, it's like, I've been around my dad a little when I was a kid, and I wasn't around him. It's like I seen him do certain periods of times. But as I got older, like in high school and everything, when I'm able to actually be around, and he's not like, he's accessible and I can't miss school, nothing like that, then we're really around each other. But I've been met him. It was like I already was a kid, like he seen me when I was a baby and everything, and like younger ages. But it's just like as I got older, I seen him during periods of times. But when I came to a teenager, we was around each other way more from like teenager on to when he passed.
So, like, what age as a teenager?
Like 16, 15.
Okay.
I was like, from like 16 on, I was around him like more so often. But it's like space times, but I was more so often like, okay, I could be like, yeah, I'm around my dad.
Yeah, you know, I interviewed Lil Soldier. I just interviewed Lil Soldier, and he talked about kind of similar to you. Like, he was like, I gave him his introduction, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, it sound good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it you know, everything he built, he kind of built for himself. Would you say the same is true for you?
I wouldn't say the same, because I feel like only a person can do off their knowledge. If I don't have knowledge of the subject of a certain thing, I can't do nothing outside of that. It's like, we can want somebody to be something, but if they not that, it's not going to happen. So it's really just like a reality check for them, and just like, okay, what I know and what I do is the best what I can do within my thoughts and my emotions and my actions. Right. So it's just like, I don't really hold nothing against somebody unless they hold themselves accountable, because it's like, I'm going to still do what I do. If I wait on their motion, I'm not going to have no motion.
Right. But how did y'all meet? Like, how did y'all, like, you know, when I say meet,
okay, so like, you want to say
reconnect.
like that first time that was like a moment where I was like, man, my dad, like, it's crazy, I ain't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, that was like when I was like 11. It was like a DJ Screw Fest somewhere, and the most random occurrence happened that my mom won tickets on 99 The Box. And
she was calling number 9.
She called number 9, and she won tickets to DJ Screw Fest. So me and my siblings, we went to the fest with my mom, and so happened that while I walk in the building, I see my dad in the hallway. Like, I just see he walking my way, like he's in the hallway, just like in the hallway, just chilling, like walking.
Just doing him.
Doing him, and he's with my stepmoms. I'm like, I ran to him like on some movie stuff, like I was like real life, like bro, my pops, like I ain't seen him in a minute. So it was like love to see him, but I was just like, bro, this crazy. Because it's just like the life he living. Like, he's not in Houston a lot. He has a whole nother situation going here. I have other siblings. So it's just like I'm living in my world, but it's like now finally our worlds combine. So it was just like interesting. He took me under his wing, and I'm on stage with little Kiki and them throwing ones.
Oh,
and stuff.
instantly, like there was.
Instantly, he put me in, like I'm walking with him backstage, like he know, cause like I'm his son, like I was still around him for certain periods of time, and I'm knowing who my dad is, but not knowing in the sense of what fame is. As a kid in my generation of time, you didn't really know and understood fame. You just seen certain people and things. But my dad's type of fame, he been famous for such a long time that I knew my age group wouldn't even know who my dad is. So people got to think in that sense. It's like
that's crazy.
So I'm not really
that's
understanding
factual
it.
Too,
Come on.
That's factual. I didn't even think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm super young. I'm 10 years old. I'm not listening to the Geto Boys. I'm 9 years old. Like growing up rich, my folk. I'm not. I'm listening to whatever's accessible around. We Soulja Boy, whatever this and that, and all these other stuff we grew up on. You remember. That's what we remember.
Right.
And as you got older and you heard your pops and certain people playing it, you got to think my pops was that person. So it wasn't a person around me that was like, you feel me, playing. I'm hearing certain things, but my dad is the person people are listening to. And if he's not around, I'm not listening to the Geto Boys.
Right.
You feel me? It's like, it's funny. It's interesting, though.
Right. Well, how was that for y'all, though, as like father and son?
It was interesting because he really helped me understand him when in times I feel like I didn't get him. Because he knew I missed a lot of time with him. He knew he missed a lot of time with me. So he wanted to make sure, like, okay, before I leave this earth, I want you to know your dad. I look just like this man. It'd be crazy if I'm walking this earth and I look just like my dad and I don't know who my dad is. Or like really know who he is as a person, not just Bushwick Bill, Richard, you feel me? So it's like, I know him and know his story, know where he came from, know my roots, know how he built his elements in hip hop, learning all the 5 steps of hip hop, and how he ended up making music, everything. He taught me and made sure I harnessed, and I met certain people who can't even validate, who was there for those time and experiences to even add more context to it from their perspective.
So at what point did you decide to go on tour with your pops?
At 17, he had like his, it was ending like of the Geto Boys tour. So the last stop was the House of Blues in Houston. So I went from the House of Blues with him, and we was in the car with somebody else or in trucks, we like SUV or truck, all the way to Atlanta. So we was from Houston, I rode with him from Houston to Atlanta, and I was in Atlanta for like a few weeks. And then I left we did a few events in Atlanta. Then I left from Atlanta, we did a show in South Carolina at the Gratify Festival, did a festival event. Then went back from there, we went back to Atlanta, then we went from Atlanta to Florida. I was in Florida for a little bit, and I ended up leaving from Florida, ended up going back to school, because by the time then the summer's over. Yeah. So I traveled up, like I was moving.
I don't know if it was too short, but I remember a rapper saying like they saw Bushwick Bill take on 3 security guards.
Yeah, it was too short. It was too short.
Did you experience anything like that while
on
tour?
Yeah. Like, man, I ain't gonna lie. It been times my pops would be like, Javon, go to the van. I'm like, all right. Next thing you hear, fa. And he's like, I'm like, I see what happened. He was like, when he came back to me, he broke it down to me. It's like, this person that was moving around the club, people wasn't paying attention. He had a gun the whole time, and him and this dude was getting into an argument. So my pops knew to get me out the way to go to the van because he knew it was about to go off, and he knew he got the situation because he know how to move. But he like, my son on the first time on the road with me, you feel me? I ain't about to have my son go to the van where it's safe, way over there far in the parking lot. Right. And like he read the situation, he taught me certain things, how to really read the room. And they're like, hey bro, like you see this going on, you ain't gotta say nothing. But make sure you move accordingly, because you make moves too loud, then you bringing attention to yourself. But make sure you move accordingly, whoever in this and around, like, hey, it's time to bust moves. I peeped this situation going off. Everybody doing this and that, but it's about to go down. It's like he taught me that, how to really read the room and basis my surroundings.
Yeah, so when y'all were on tour, that was like the Geto Boys farewell tour?
Okay, nuh-uh. When we was on the road when I was 17, that was literally like the Geto Boys Office Space tour. Because I think they had certain sync licensing when it came to old Geto Boy songs. And they had that song called Still in the Office Space movie. Then they smashed on the computers and everything. That became a whole big thing in the cinema world, and it made the Geto Boys even a bigger audience. That's why it's such a big Geto Boys fan base, because they hit to the movie lane. Once you tap into the movie lane, your audience is endless, because movies never go away, especially great ones. So it's like the Office Space tour, they literally named the tour the Office Space tour because it was that big of a thing with that movie and that scene smashed on the computers.
So there was a separate tour, right? And that was the farewell tour.
Yeah, so that farewell tour never happened or occurred.
So it never happened?
No, the farewell tour never happened, because you gotta remember, like, I didn't go on the road, we didn't do that because my dad was already so sick. He had stage 4 pancreatic cancer around that time. He wanted to go on the road with them and do the shows, but it's like, if he would have agreed to the dates, the day my dad ended up going into the hospital, it was like May 26th, and that would have been the day of one of the shows. So he basically died at the first show. You feel me? Like, he knew his body was, and people wasn't agreeing to certain terms about him having a medical personnel with him and certain accommodations that would benefit him and the fact of him surviving, of like, or even trying to make something like that happen. But it's just like, it wasn't making sense, so my dad wasn't with it.
So, how long after the tour, the Office tour?
Okay, no, Office Space tour, see, like, okay, you gotta think. My pops passed when I was 23. That tour, when I was on the first time going on the road with him, that was when I was 17.
Yeah.
I was 17.
So that was 5 years.
That was a five-year
lapse.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to be around him for 5 years.
Years, yeah.
Like
not consistently, but like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think, 'cause I'm still going to college, I'm doing certain things. I run into my dad randomly. Like, I literally, South by Southwest 2016, I ran into my dad on 6th Street after one of my shows. Literally. I got clips of me and him on 6th Street. I had a videographer with me. He's catching me. My dad talks to me. He's saying some deep, real, insightful stuff. He like, look, I'm always watching you. You think I'm not there? I'm watching you. He's like, I just got off stage with Deftone, who sold 20 million plus records, and they're streaming right now with this show in 20 plus states. He's like a real deep talk with me on some like, hey, you think I'm missing out on this and that, when I'm doing something that's even gonna make it even bigger, what we got going on. Just understand this. I'm not, like, everything that's happening is happening for a reason. He was like that. He'd make it insightful and he in depth. He'd really make you think.
Right.
You feel me? Like, damn, all right. Like, so I'm doing my own thing. He like, don't think I'm not watching you and not seeing what you got going. Like, I know, I'm proud of you, like, type shit. Like, so it was interesting. He'd come around at key moments. I'm like, damn, that shit crazy. I spent the rest of the day with him. Walked in some bar, got free food. He walked in the kitchen, make my son, you can make my son food. He's like, yeah, Bill. Ooh, made me some food. I got food, skipped the whole line. I say, bro, that's why I know, like, just being with my dad, like, and I do certain things, but, like, I seen the emotion he had, like, people love him, bro, like, really love him genuinely. It's not, oh, because he's famous. It's like, because what he's done, he'll walk in their crib and treat everybody in the house like family.
Right.
He's a real humane person. He has a heart, you feel me? And he ain't got an ego.
Right. Okay. Well, so I want to go into the music a little bit.
Yeah. For sure.
Did you grow up on his music?
Yeah. So when I was younger, like when I was living with my dad when I was like 5-some years old and all that stuff like that, and like 3 or 4 years old around those times, I'm seeing and hearing music of my dad, and you know, but I'm like young, you can't conceptualize everything as a whole. But I was in the studio with him when they had studios at when they had studios at Sharpstown Studio, which is now, Sharpstown Mall, which is now Plaza America Mall. Right. Basically, around that time, they used to have actual studio booths in there. Me and my dad, we made a song when I was like 5 years old. So I remember us recording when I was 5. So it's like, I was engaging in some reason with him, listening to it. But as I got older, I really just like listened to my dad music. But I wasn't just gonna act like, bro, I was growing up jamming my dad, because my dad wasn't around. So why would I be jamming a person that I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I wanna be around in my life like that. Like, I'm trying to figure myself out, my situation. And as I got older and got more into my legacy and myself, that's not really engulf myself into what, you know what I'm saying, people know as all the Geto Boys albums and my legacy and everything.
Right. You know, my favorite Geto Boys album is The Foundation.
Yeah, I love that album.
I think that's like the most industry album, you would say. So,
yeah.
You know, I guess people won't count that. You know
I love that album. And We Can't Be Stopped album too.
The We Can't Be Stopped album, I feel like, is the most iconic album. So the album cover, though, is Bushwick Bill on a stretcher in the hospital. You have Willie D on the side of him and Scarface on the right side of him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or on my right, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. After the album is completed, Willie D and Scarface get the call from the hospital that Bushwick Bill had been shot. Willie D recalls the day it happened and explained. I'm reading like what was said in an interview, right?
Yeah.
And he tells Willie D, I made her shoot me. You know what I'm saying? I guess he had gotten into an altercation with his baby mom. Yeah. And he allegedly claimed that he threw the baby downstairs over a tussle over a gun, and he shot himself in the eye, right? The woman he's referring to is that...
No. You gotta think, my dad was shot in 1991. I was born in 1996. When he died, and from the gunshot wounds, I wasn't even a figment of imagination. I wasn't even to conceive nothing. It's just like I wasn't even existing, period, in the spectrum of this world we live in. Like, It wasn't even thought of me at all.
So I hear songs like, you know, Dirty Bitch, you know what I'm saying? Why you wanna bring me down?
Yeah.
Why
He's talking about his
bring me
appearances
down?
and females he been with, yeah.
At that time, I'm assuming, you know, he couldn't have kids. Like it was
around that
time,
time, my dad, he really thought, he's like, man, I can't have kids. Like he thought he was told he couldn't have kids, this and that, this and that. So the people he was around, these was these women kids. You feel me? That was their child. He was playing stepdad, you feel me? So he was like, this my household, this my stuff. I'm not gonna not accept you because you got a kid. My dad has 8 siblings. He's the youngest of 9 kids. My grandpa met my grandma when she had 6 kids. So my dad mindset already is on some like, you got 1 kid, you got a kid or whatever in general, I'm not gonna not love you. I'm not gonna not be there for you. That's not, you know what I'm saying? I love you for you and everything that come with you type situation.
Right. That's part of you. That's part of the package.
You feel me? I'm with it. That's how he move.
For sure. Well, when you look at this album cover, it's like, you know, number one, the songs on the album are pressure enough to stand on their own.
Yeah.
But it conveys a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? The way Willie D described it, though, is like, it was like, we need a cover. You know what I'm saying? Let's get together and shoot it.
Man, basically how that all went, that's just all industry stuff, man. It's all industry. At the end of the day, it's a situation that I capitalized on by certain people that worked for the company. It's only 2 owners of the company and certain people that have certain say-so on things. And if you look at any credits of things, you could just figure everything out for yourself. So it's like, with that cover, my dad's eye is literally the last picture of his eye, and it's swollen to the T, to all outside his whole, you know what I'm saying, situation, to where it's just like, you could tell he's in pain and out of it. You look at the cover, you could like, bro, that man was not there.
And that's why it looks so iconic. Because
it's like, it was that moment. It was like a day before surgery. It was a day before that, okay, he might not come back or live out this surgery, so let's get this album cover before he, you know what I'm saying, in case he don't make it. Situation. And the thing is, my dad drugged him on so much medicine, he's gonna agree to anything. And he's already a wild person that already does things spontaneous and known for being a person that does nothing you would think he would do. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the music business and the industry-wise, it's just like moments get capitalized on. When 21 Savage lost his brother in this situation, he spoke on that story, and what happened? He became 21 Savage after that. That was the peak of his story. When my dad ended up popping, when it came with the Ever So Clear thing and him losing his eye, it made him an even famous artist. This man died and came back to life. He has a whole death certificate at Ben Taub Hospital. Now this man goes and dies when he's 52 years old in Colorado, and he has another death certificate. He's the only person in the world to walk this earth with 2 death certificates and a birth certificate. And I'm here to talk to y'all and speak to y'all after that first death certificate, 5 years later. So I'm just like, bro, and I'm the only son, so y'all take it how y'all want to take it.
That's wild, bro. Like, for me, has he ever talked to you about that?
Yeah, he
cover?
talked to me. He broke it. He broke that whole night down to me. He broke the whole experience from when he first got shot, what he seen, how it's like, you know, in the TV, them old TV screens, or TV screen in general, it goes bright and then it zooms into black.
Right.
Like, you know, they like it shoots that bright light and then like we turn the TV off.
Right.
That's how he said it was when he got shot in the eye. Like that first how it went bright and then nothingness. Couldn't see nothing after that. And he was just like out of it, and he like literally looked in the mirror and just like he couldn't. It was just crazy. And basically, it's so much adrenaline pumping, he can't feel that nothing. He can't feel nothing. And so then, as he gets to the hospital, he DOA on arrival. The man dies on the way to the hospital. So then, after everything get processed, they put the time of death, and he gets put in the morgue next to dead bodies in the slabs. It has toe tag. They about to just close the drawer in a little minute. He come back too, taking the catheter out because he got to pee. He don't know that he died and came back to life. He just has to go to the restroom really bad. He go and pees on a security guard. Security guard takes off running because he just seen a freaking dead person come back to life in the morgue full of people that don't supposed to be moving. They came back with a whole bunch of people and literally held him down and stuck needles in the man on some movie stuff. Because like, bro, you just came back to life. We got to get you contained and situation under control because this is not normal. You don't supposed to be moving. And this man was dead in the morgue for like, I kid you not, 6-7 hours. It's all documented. It's all literally in his documentary that's coming out. All them details on there. Death certificates on the literally documentary, you can see it.
And this is before the surgery.
This is before the surgery.
This is like on arrival.
This is on arrival. He's DOA on arrival. He already died. So the thing is, he might die again in surgery, getting the situation actually removed. So he's literally bro. He's fighting, bro. The man is man, bro. I thank God for my dad being so strong, because I wouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah.
Because that's a strong person, bro.
How do y'all even have that conversation? Like, how?
He just a real reality person. Like, anybody that knows my dad or met my dad knew he's going to speak his truth, and he gonna speak God through you. He going to speak whatever he feel in that moment to just, it could be something that's supposed to really move you, but he's just a vessel, bro. Like, he really just spoke how he felt. He kept it real with me to where it's like, I know how he felt about me and know how he feel about me. It's like, if you feel like this, I know why you feel like this. He didn't leave room for, like, questioning things. And if it was questioning before he passed, he made sure I understood what was good.
At what point did he tell you that he had cancer?
A few months before the world knew what we knew. Like, around the time he didn't tell me till like probably like March of that year, February. Cause y'all in the world didn't find out till like May.
So
and he passed in June.
When did he find out?
Like probably December.
Oh, so this is all a new thing. It was a new thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
a current thing. Nah, it sped up. You gotta think with pancreatic cancer, it doesn't show itself until the final stages. Like, that's one of the worst cancers to have, because the survival rate is so low to where even just saying a year is 3%. So he's already going up against the odds. That's the worst cancer, bro.
And at this time, you know, how was y'all's relationship?
It's best where it's ever been, because like I'm literally, when he in the hospital, I'm taking care of him, looking after him. We talking, we reading the Bible, we talking about God, we talking about just our relationship and stuff in general. We just having real deep philosophical conversations on things of just life. He'd say certain quotes and someone tell me and move me to be like, man, write down what your dad's saying. Like, write something just tell me, write down. So I'm writing down certain quotes, and still to this day I look back at those quotes, and he'd say, oh, you should look up this, or you should read this book, or you should look at this person with your last name. And certain people, there's a lot of great people with our last names, our heritage, people related to. And he just tell me certain things, and I just take notes, because it's just like some in me just to be like, I don't know how much time I got with my dad. So I just like, I don't want him to go nowhere. I'm aware enough to like, I don't want him to leave, but what he's saying to me, I feel like gonna be with me forever.
Yeah. And
it felt like that, and I just did what I felt.
Yeah. How difficult was that for him to tell that to the world?
Hard, because he's always been a person people thought was indestructible, that was invincible. My dad always been a person like, Bill gonna be good.
He survived death.
He survived death itself. He'd say that to me. He'd be like, man, I'm not scared of nothing. I already died before. Like, literally. I've heard him say that himself. He like, it's a flex down there, like on some like, bro, I'm not scared of nothing, bro. I already literally died. The final thing everybody's scared of is death. I've already did that. So I've been there. So okay, well, what we doing now? So that's what people really feared him, because he didn't fear nothing after that. Because it's like, bro, I've seen what you ain't seen yet. So you trying to take me there to a place I want to see. If you let's go. If you think I'm gonna go there, but I already been there. So let's go. Yeah. And people don't want to go. You feel me? That's a different level of living, bro. So he told me like God gave him a second chance. So he living a whole different chapter. Like when that life over, that previous life died with him. He's rebirthed. He born again. People say they're reborn. He was reborn again, bro.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. There was supposed to be one final tour.
Yeah, the tour. See, the tour was supposed to be before he passed. So like, thing is, he had planned the tour to be like.
So he
June
initially
something.
planned the tour.
Yeah. He was planning tour for. He's like, look, I want to go on tour, y'all. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do a reunion tour. Cause like basically it's like we ain't been together, but we not just doing this tour for just no reason to get capitalized or make money off our fans. This is a tour to save my life. You feel me? Cause I watched what my dad had to do in certain things, the sacrifices he made to be able to come up even with just his money for chemo. Cause he a hustler. He don't ask money for nothing. He always make a way. So it's like, even with the chemo stuff, the chemo thing, that killed him faster, because that kills your whole white blood cell count, and it's radiation. And people think it's a helpful thing, it only helps certain people, but it literally kills everything in your body. It's supposed to help you.
Yeah, because so the idea, to my understanding of chemo, right, is that chemo kills the good cells and the bad cells.
But it's like, it's a lose situation, because now you done killed your whole immune system. So that means right now, if I cough around you, you're gonna get sick and possibly die.
Yeah. I
gotta wear a mask around you. I gotta do certain things. So before COVID, literally months before COVID happened, because you gotta think he died June of 2019. Right. So COVID hit December of 2019 on. I'm wearing masks, and I act like it's COVID when I'm visiting my dad. I gotta wear a mask and everything. I can't be up under him on certain thing. I can't, because if I literally cough or I was sick and I just net, his immune system, you feel me, he fried. So it's just like, I can't do that, bro. So it's like, I understood certain things of how the medical system worked and how health-wise, chemo's a last resort. But chemo is not a win-win situation. That's why you be like, oh, they did chemo, they gonna do this, they gonna be all right. Like, no, bro, like, that's a last option because it kills everything within you that could possibly help you. So now you just fueled off of whatever they give you to survive. And I'm like, bro, it's all a hustle, though. That's why I'm actually creating my dad foundation, the Bushwick Bill Outreach Foundation. It's basically going to help pancreatic cancer survivors, like, and people who in general who trying to survive pancreatic cancer. Because what he wanted to do is he wanted to actually go to these hospitals and help people with their bills hands-on, because he knows a lot of foundations, they don't help these people hands-on. You'll send the money, you think the money's going to somebody, but it's not actually going to the specific person in their family. So he told me a thing like, I want to actually go to these hospitals and walk these halls and go talk to these people and pay their bills. And so with that tour that you're speaking on, to go back to that subject, is that tour, he wanted a certain proceeds of that tour to go towards pancreatic cancer awareness, because that's something people not aware of. That's a common thing. It's like pancreatic cancer comes from your lifestyle. It comes from your eating, comes from smoking cigarettes and stuff like that. And being an artist, main thing we don't do is, right, people don't eat good, and people do a lot of turning up, and they live in their life drinking alcohol and certain things. You do that so much over 30-some years, 15 years, 20 years, things are going to start to deteriorate in your body. You only have one liver, one kidney, one heart. You know what I'm saying? You got two kidneys, whatever. You got liver, you got a heart, you got these lungs. You can't change these out. You can file to be a donor and file to get, but that list is long as hell. To try to get, because there's people right now waiting for, like, I need a kidney to survive, and they literally waiting on a donor list. So it's like we only got these certain things in our body, and once we bring awareness to that, it just make the whole hip hop community like even more better. That's why I like Larry June and artists like that, because he be on some healthy stuff, but he be on some fly stuff too. Like, he don't make it lame to be healthy. It's like, bro, this is player to take care of yourself and you know what I'm saying, look fresh and be sharp and this and that. Like, it's player to look this way and also be healthy in the process. Because just because you're getting the money, I mean, you got to do yourself dirty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take care of you get more money, even up the scale of how you take care of yourself.
So it sounds like a good idea. You know, we got this concept.
Yeah.
We got the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Why does the tour not happen?
Because the bandmates, you got to think, man, greed is a crazy thing, bro. Greed is the most thing that ruins most relationships with people, ruins family, ruins lives, ruins countries, because people are never satisfied. We have that naturally innate nature as a human being. That no matter what we do, we're never satisfied. If you want to be a lawyer, you're like, I don't want to be an average lawyer. I want to be the best lawyer. So therefore, I'm going to have to step on toes, because in the day, it's somebody that's above you that you're trying to get to that spot. And that's greed. You could be like, I'm good in my little spot, whatever, this and that. But like, nah, like, it's nothing wrong with elevating. There's a difference between elevating and greed. It's like, you know you straight. And this person ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on, but you want their spot. That's greed. You feel me? And so when it comes to the music thing, bro, certain people not going to do it for the love and do it for helping the person survive, because if I already don't like you, why would I help you live longer? It makes no sense. Everybody know in this whole world that loves the Geto Boys that Willie D and my dad have never been just the best of buds, and everybody know that. That's just a business relationship. It never been a friendship. It's a business relationship. We are two people that make music together. My dad and DJ Ready Red, they like this. They fam. Like, long live DJ Ready Red. He passed a few years before my dad passed. That messed my dad up. That was one of his best friends. So it's like, that's people that he really related to. Face and my dad, real cool. They lived in apartments together. They got their first apartment together when they was signed and stuff. That was really his homie. You feel me? You living with somebody, you definitely gotta rock with them. Cause I'm seeing you every day. So it's just like, that bond was different. But with Will and my dad, has never been a thing of them to like each other. My dad, he'd be a neutral person. I'm not gonna not like you, this and that, whatever, and treat you a certain way. I'm like, you my brother regardless how he move. And he like, okay, this what it is with me. You my fam, you my people. We a brotherhood. That's how he move. But everybody not like my dad. His heart different. That's why he still loved to this day by means of people. Where I could walk in rooms and nobody gonna try to do something to me or try to look at me crazy like, oh, that's your pops, man. He was on this. He was on some janky stuff. Like, nah, like, his name good. Like, he held weight and did right by people. And it's like, he showed love to the ghettos all over America. You feel me? And outside of it, they felt his love and his struggle and his story.
You're a real ghetto boy.
He a real ghetto boy from a third world country, bro.
So but the conclusion was everybody wanted to be paid equally?
Yeah. That concluded, everybody want to be paid equally, but like not even equally. Everybody want to be paid in general, but how it was going, they just trying to finesse my dad, bro. We can't sugarcoat it, bro. Like, I'm looking at the logistics of things. You trying to have my dad come out of bread, out his money for the show to pay for venues, bro. How does that make sense? This is a tour to help my dad pay for cancer bills and survive, to be long enough to see me have grandkids, to see my sisters and them grow older and do certain things, to see his youngest daughter, who my sister's like, that's like 7 to 8 years old right now. She was like 4 or 5 years old at that time. She ain't even experienced my dad as an individual really yet. And it's like, this is all to keep this stuff going.
I mean, he was expected to pay for the venue?
Yes, out of his own show money.
Why him?
Like because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, he made the concept, wanted to do the concept of the tour, but it's like they had structured certain things to where it didn't make sense, bro. And that's how I've always been with shows with my dad and certain things. It just don't make sense. They don't do right with my pops. Like business-wise, you gotta think, when you were the record label rap a lot, with these people, you're getting your consistent pay. You're getting paid for your shows. Jay making sure everybody get their bread. But once you separate and y'all do your own thing, now it's these people booking agents. We're dealing with their booking agents and their people that's booking the shows, this and that. So I can't structure some money and mess with some money, organize some stuff when it's not my business. That's this company booking the Geto Boys tour, and let's say this person who made the initial move, now they gonna look out for you. You made the play for us. This is an iconic group. You put the play together for all these members to be on this tour. I'm gonna cash you out for this, and y'all gonna get paid this every show.
Right.
But if a person that's overhead in control who made that play happen, he gonna have more leverage with the money. Right. And that's what happened is like my dad and I putting these tours together. So when he go on the road, he getting more money. That's why he always move by himself. It's like, bro, on a tour with y'all, I'm not getting paper like that. Outside of when we first started out, when we really was moving together as a unit and had certain people imagining us, it's not making sense. Why? That's why people was like, man, when the Geto Boys tour gonna happen? Bro, nobody wanna do that. Face don't wanna do it. He like, I'm not even doing another Geto Boys album because he know he good on his own. My dad good by himself. He can do solo projects and fans will buy it because they love Bushwick Bill by himself as the individual.
Right.
We love what you did with the Geto Boys, but his solo moves is really spoke volumes. He really got albums that went platinum and gold solo and Billboard Top 200 that Mike Dean and engineered and produced on. It would have been dope. The places we gonna hit, because it was flyers, we gonna hit Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I saw certain flyers. We was gonna do New York. We was gonna do like all like certain little key places, and it was gonna be dope, bro. But so my dad had some other stuff going. We was gonna do our own tour stuff we set up, and then we had a date like June 8th or 9th, like basically the day that he passed. It was supposed to be a show in Dallas that we supposed to do. That show packed out, but my dad never lived long enough to even do that show, bro. And it was like crazy, bro. I was just like, bro, he had big things he wanted to do, and I was thinking of that he wanted to set up, and he couldn't do that because he ran out of time, bro. He talked about certain things and ideas and concepts, and it's like, I keep and harness those things and make sure it's my life goal and mission to take care of what I got going on, my self-identity as an individual, but also make sure I live my legacy and take care of those things that my dad didn't get to live long enough to do. And that's why I'm just on my stuff when it comes to securing and protecting my brand.
Right. Well, it's like you talk about these financial struggles, and I'm wondering, what about the money from the albums that went platinum?
That's record deals, bro. You gotta think, most artists back in those days, they didn't have their own labels. They had somebody sponsor them and loan them money. It was not a lot of artists that had paper. The people that had paper was the people that was making their own money, hustling with their own businesses. The people that was entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs now want to make more endeavors and invest their money. And it's like, okay, this is a good move. This makes sense. And that's how most artists thrive and pop, because they had investors, bro. They didn't make it by themselves. There's only a few rappers you can make and say, oh, they made their own label, signed to their own label and pop. That's that billionaire we talk about today is Jay-Z.
Right.
He made his own label, signed himself to his own label, got artists, and popped. And is a billionaire now. Because you see the route is when you own your music, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? P. Diddy, he signed artists, but also signed himself to his own label, got his own stuff. And he's dropping music with the artists he's signing to. He's running the bag up. Because it's all me in general. I'm funding y'all career. The person that's funding the career, I was going to have more paper because at the end of the day, they made the vision become true. I risk my hard-earned money to make your dreams reality.
Right.
Without my money, it wouldn't be real.
And I know you're an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I managed artists before, so I don't know exactly how the royalties work from music.
It's different conceptual things with contracts. It's different standard contracts. It's 360 contracts, which is work for hire contracts. I mean, right now, if you give me a 360 work for hire contract, it means like I'm paying you for this job. Whatever you can pay for this job is for this particular job.
Right.
And if you record all this stuff in-house in this company owns this, because in the day you record it on my studio equipment inside my building, on my, you know what I'm saying? It's all mine. So in the day, if you recorded this here, this mine. Like, and that's how it goes with those. That's how 360s work and work for hire contracts. Then it's a contract where it's like the artists have leniency, but they're giving a percentage to the label that say like, okay, we want 30% of everything. We want 30% of your merch, 30% of your sales, we want 30% of your tour, and we want 30% of your streams. You keep 70% of everything else. and you keep all your masters. But we just want streams, tour, and merch. So that person owns their masters, they breaking out bread for them for the streams and certain things. But that back end they still got and they secure, so they ain't gotta worry about residual income. Because the label didn't do a deal like that. It's all about how you negotiate your deal. Every deal is different, no deal is the same. But a 360 is a 360. And that's something everybody know and talk about. It's like, yo, you signed 360, you fraud. I done seen people deals and seen stuff in red and I'm like, man, bro, this is crazy.
Well, you're not necessarily fraud. You just got yours out the way.
Nah,
You got
yeah, like you not like really. It's just like you just not knocked it out real quick and you getting to figure it out. But bro, I'm telling you, 360 deals are terrible. I've seen people that sign for $13,000. They sign a 360 deal and they said they're supposed to get 13, but they don't actually getting 9. But it's on paper they received that. So now it's saying they got that, but they ain't even, bro. You signed your life away with $13,000 and you like young. That's crazy, bro. But people that never seen money, you put a couple bands in front of somebody, they like, yes, let's go. I gotta sign this, bet. And that's where come financial literacy and knowledge come into play, bro. That's so big. You could be talented but have no business sense. Right. You could be the most professional football player, but if you have the wrong person managing your books, you going broke first year. Yeah. It don't matter how cold you is, like, bro, stats was crazy, but he fell off. Of course, his business was not together. Right. He can't go home and go lay his head down somewhere after practice. He's homeless. This hit different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So it's like that business sense is when you see longevity. That's what they talk about when we get older and we do certain things. You see who was on the top of their business.
Bushwick actually talked about like living with fans.
Yeah, bro. He talked about, bro. He said that I tried. My pops is not a person to ever shame his story. He like, bro, if I'm down bad and messed up, I'm gonna live with my people, my homie, my partners, my fan people that's gonna support me. That became my partners. It's like, bro, I'm willing to do that and understand I'm not gonna be out here on these streets. But I got somebody that actually rock with me and support me enough. Like, bro, you crash here, you good, and just until whatever you about to go do your next move, your next show, whatever it may be.
Right. So another thing is, a lot of people don't know, but originally, your pops was like a...
Yeah, he was a hype man. He was a choreographer of the group.
Choreographer, there you go. A hype man.
He's a hype man, yeah.
New York, so he has a background and...
Real hip-hop background. He's a graffiti artist in hip-hop. A graffiti artist in New York.
Yeah.
He did graffiti on subway trains and everything. He had a group of people with him called the Bushwick Bill, like Bushwick Posse, not Bushwick Bill Posse. But he got his name Bushwick from Bushwick, Brooklyn, being raised out there when he came from Jamaica. And yeah, that's how he got, and the Bill came from Billy, because that's surnames. We from Jamaica, my people from Jamaica, so they speak like where when you come here, you have an actual, your name, but then out there in Jamaica is your surname. So that name you're being called is not actually your real name. Like my dad's name was Billy. His real name is not Billy. So all he knows his name being Bill and Billy. So when he go to school, he's saying, is Richard here? And it's like, my name not Richard, my name Billy. You feel me? He goes straight like, I don't know who that is. I'm known as Billy. So that's like that difference between both worlds.
Right. My bad, P. What did I ask?
You just asking about elements in his hip hop stuff, like how he did more like in New York and stuff.
That part. So, but and my point of saying that is because he originally wasn't a rapper. So how did he become a rapper?
John Geto heard him rapping "Rebel Without a Pause" by Public Enemy, and basically he was like, okay, Bill be perfect to finish this album. Because 2 members of the group had left. The original Geto Boys was GHTTO. There was Prince Johnny C in there. And there was a dude named Jukebox. It was DJ Ready Red. Then it was my pops when he got in the group.
Right. Okay. So he was there before Scarface and Willie D.
Yes. He was literally original Geto Boys. He hopped in the mix of the original Geto Boys.
Right.
You feel me? So basically, Prince Johnny C had like left, and then Jukebox had something happen with him. And he ended up leaving the group. And so now all you got is a hype man and a DJ. You need rappers. And now we have an album to turn in. We need to figure this out. We contractual deal. So that's when, boom, Willie D and Scarface came along. Jay been knowing Face, he been knowing Will. All stuff got put together. Now you got the group. But then my dad not rapping because they had to finish the album. They needed one more person to rap. My dad. You know what I'm saying? They heard like John Geto heard my dad rapping. He's the producer engineer at the time. He heard him rapping there. He's like, oh yeah, his tone, like all he needs somebody just to help him get things organized and really get it all together, and he gonna go. Right. He got the swagger, he got the story. He really that person. He not faking what he's saying. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Marketable.
He's already individual. He already a unique individual by himself, and he ain't afraid to be him on stage and walk back and forth. He's doing him and controlling the crowd by being himself. He's that one. And it so happened that by certain people seeing certain things within him led to him being that figure in the group to where it's like, ain't no Geto Boys without Bushwick Bill, bro. Never will ever be another Geto Boys without Bushwick Bill.
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, I didn't want to like go here, but
Yeah.
there was some controversy in an interview that was done on the Geto Boys Reloaded podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, real tone, it's some real money in the room.